It's your friend, Cameron. He's living in a dumpster in the middle of a junkyard.
They're about to issue a bench warrant because he's missed 5 court appearances.
You can find a way to function. I know that you can.
You just have to come back. You have to leave the dumpster.
We are making some progress here.
You remember Cameron? He's going to be staying here for a while.
Just so efficient and respected. And he doesn't get too worked up.
I think I just really have to try to keep it together.
And completely professional.
You look very nice.
An honest day's work in your life, and you expect us to believe you just went into that house by accident? By accident? By accident? By accident? Why that house in particular? Why that house in particular?
I thought it was a daycare.
Excuse me? Excuse me?
I wanted to ask if I could fill out an application.
An application for a job? A job? A job? That is the stupidest thing I have ever heard.
Your Honor, I don't think she should talk to my client that way.
She wants you to try to be a bit more civil, Miss Menon.
Yeah, be nicer. Much nicer.
Did you actually think they were going to hire some guy off the street, some guy with a lengthy criminal record to work with children?
Well, I'm a changed man.
Yeah, sure you are. Okay, so buying this preposterous story of yours for a moment, were there any signs on the house indicating that it was, in fact, a daycare?
Oh, my God, it's so powerful.
Well, Mr. Harris.
There were toys on the front porch. A lot of them.
Come on, sir. What kind of an idiot do you take me for?
Your Honor,
Did you have your resume with you?
What?
Your resume. It's a piece of paper that would detail your employment history.
No, but
Oh, that's right. You don't have an employment history. You just have 12 convictions for break and enter. Come on, sir. Come on, your buddies in prison are probably missing you something terrible, so why not just help me arrange the reunion, huh?
Your Honor.
Yeah, Miss Menon, if the accused were willing to prosecute themselves, we wouldn't need Crown attorneys, now would we?
Oh, it's too strong and won't dissolve.
You went into that house with the intention of robbing it. You are nothing but a cowardly thief, sir. Come on, just say it. You're gonna feel better. I am a lying sneak thief, so send me back to jail.
Don't you know how dangerous you are? Don't be a punk.
I have to dissolve her negative energy. That takes some time.
Don't let her get to you. When she talks, just try to turn her words into bubbles and let them float away. Just let them float away.
Miss Menon, are you okay?
I'm fine. I'm fine.
Well, at least you didn't have to wait as long as I did.
Yeah, well, the only difference is it wasn't your trial you were waiting for.
It was still hard. I really wanted it to be over with.
Yeah, look, I'm sorry. I didn't
No,
mean
it's
to.
okay. Everything's gonna be fine.
That's not what she thinks. Look at her face. Just telling my sister here how you don't exactly look like the picture of confidence.
Well, yeah, I'm a little worried. You could be facing some time.
Time? In jail?
It's not likely, but you did put the guy in the hospital.
I was threatened. I defended myself, and I might go to jail for that?
He was in the hospital for a week. He had a concussion, 3 broken ribs, a broken nose.
He had 30 pounds over me. I had to put him out of commission.
She has a black belt.
She knows that.
And everyone in court's gonna know, too. It's a factor.
She means that they'll think you didn't have to go so far.
Is that what you think?
No, but... Well, how many times did you hit him?
I wasn't counting. What is your problem? Of all the people in the world not to understand the position I was in.
What does that mean? Did something happen to you?
No, that's none of your business.
Well, actually, it sounds like it might be.
I was raped 3 years ago.
And that's when you started studying martial arts.
Yeah, so what?
So I'm not sure how that's going to play out in court.
It's not going to play out because you can't bring it up.
She can if it'll help you.
You know, it might help the judge understand why you were so frightened.
I was frightened because it was dark and I was alone and the guy got too close.
And the Crown's witness is going to say that the attack looked unprovoked.
This creep thinks that he can harass me because I'm a woman and he's a man, like it's some God-given right. And so he keeps coming at me and he got too close.
Angela?
No! The guy brought it on himself, okay? End of story. Look, I'm just gonna meet you guys over there. I need to...
5 times a week she was in that gym, 52 weeks a year, like a crazy person. You can tell them that what happened to me, it changed her. It made her so scared she wasn't responsible for her actions.
What happened to the guy who assaulted you?
He got off. Yeah. She wasn't too happy about that either.
You gotta get me the out of here.
Okay,
No,
but first...
No. You have to get me out of here now. There's a lot of guys in here that I've represented.
Yeah, not particularly well.
Oh, come on, Jack. To the best of my ability, all right? Not always to maximum result.
How many times did I tell you you weren't cut out for this work?
Oh, what do you mean? Back when you were trying to convince me to take that job in Brazil so that you could steal my wife?
Barbara wasn't married at the time. She was fair game.
Yeah, maybe that's why she chose me, Jack. I never referred to her as prey. That asshole Gallagher's never gonna give me bail, and even if he's inclined to, I don't have a surety.
What about Barbara?
Barbara walked out on me 6 months ago.
She left. That's too bad.
Hey, I saw that. What? Don't you do it. Don't you dare try to get her in the sack. Come on, Jack, try to be a little sensitive here. You want to know something real sad?
Definitely.
Yeah, when I was trying to get a lawyer, you're the only one to return my call. You're all I got, Jack. You're the only person in this world who gives a shit about me.
That is sad because, truthfully, Oliver, I never really cared for you all that much myself. I mean, you're the last person I ever expected to see in here for money laundering, so I'm kind of curious.
You know, all I did was help them make their business more efficient.
Them being the drug dealers, I
Hey,
assume.
they also know landscaping business. But, yeah.
And what do the cops have?
Me on tapes and stuff.
About
how I use the proceeds to buy real estate, then flip it.
Jesus, what the is wrong with you?
No, you see, it's okay because we're going to get the tapes thrown out.
Because?
Because the conversation was privileged.
Not if it was in furtherance of a crime. You're as bad a crook as you are a lawyer. What were you thinking?
I don't know, all this money being thrown around, these schmucks with the grade 9 educations, living like kings.
Except when they get caught, then they live like inmates.
Yeah, but I was keeping them out of jail. I was providing a service, protecting their interests. You know, well, tell me something, what's the difference between getting them off on a technicality or cleaning up their money?
That's the difference between being a lawyer and a criminal.
Yeah, well, that's a line you crossed yourself, isn't it?
So they're saying, yeah.
Hey, well, what, are you offended or something? What are you doing? Where are you going?
To call Barbara.
Call Barbara? What for, a date?
No, genius, to convince her to bail you out.
Oh, well, good luck. She detests me.
But a date might not be a bad idea.
I hate you!
But just stay away. Stay away. Don't make any threatening gestures. I might hurt you. I won't mean to, but I can't always control myself.
It's okay, sir. Everything is okay. No one is going to hurt you.
Can you tell us your name, sir?
I can't talk now.
And why is that?
Because I need all my concentration to keep from bursting this man's heart inside his chest.
Okay. Well, you know, he can defend himself.
Not
so you can
against
go ahead
my mind, he can't. I can usually keep it under control, but this guy's giving off some seriously threatening vibes.
Mr. Sachs, have you had a chance to speak with this man?
No, Your Honor, I have not. He's just been brought up, but if I perhaps had a minute or two now...
It's an add-on, Your Honor. Line 82.
God, no, not her. I can't deal with her right now. She's still emanating.
Can I help you, Miss Menon?
Yes, Your Honor. This man assaulted me earlier this morning while I was conducting a trial.
Whose trial?
Does that really matter? I was in the middle of a cross-examination, and
her negativity is overwhelming.
What is his name?
Doug Hillard.
Yes, that's me. I wasn't trying to hurt her. I was trying to help her. They wouldn't let me finish.
Finish what?
Clearing out her negative energy. You should have seen the way she was talking to that man.
Okay, so you were trying to...
He tried to crush my skull.
Well, if you don't apply a certain amount of force...
It was a totally unprovoked attack. I want his background checked.
Okay, well, you mean now?
I'll do it myself, then. He's obviously holding a grudge against me for something, Your Worship. Just make sure he doesn't get released until I get to the bottom of this.
Okay, well, I'll try, but I can't...
Okay, is it just me, or is that a truly terrifying entity?
No, I sometimes have nightmares about her.
Hey! Oh my God. Hey, Mr. Rupert. Hi. What are you doing here?
We need to go upstairs.
But I was just on my way to go
upstairs, in your office.
Okay, sure.
Now.
Whatever you say. You know, you just turn. You really don't have to drag me.
Hurry!
Just let me turn around.
This isn't just some normal thing, you know.
It's not?
No time for lollygagging and chit-chat.
Okay, no chit-chat, but do you have to be pushing me?
This is a very important thing, you hear me?
I do hear you, but why are you constantly...
I get a message from the dead last night.
I'm sorry?
Me mother come to me in a dream.
Oh, see, but that's very nice. Why is it?
Nothing nice about it. It was an urgent cry for help.
This is
She came to me and said that we need to do something about my son, Sean.
We?
Yes, sure. You're my lawyer, aren't you?
You know, actually, I've been meaning to talk to you about
Oh, so you want to go fussing about money? Well, listen, don't I always pay you?
No, you never pay me.
Well, then you got something to look forward to, but first you gotta earn it. My son Sean's been arrested.
What for this time?
For a police mistake, that's what for. He never stole anything from that store.
And you know this because...
Because of why do you think my mother come to me in a dream?
But you think she came to tell you he was innocent?
Well, she never comes to me before when he did it all those times. I figure he's innocent and...
You can prove it even though she's dead?
Well, not without our help. I need to make contact with her to see what she knows.
Okay, so why didn't you ask her what she knows last night?
Because I was asleep.
Oh.
There's no time for asking questions, a time for listening.
Right, sorry.
Today is a time for questions when we make contact with her.
We? No, I can't be part of some kind of weird...
You've got to get some elements in place for me. Can you do that? Can you get some elements in place for me?
Probably not, no.
Don't you say no. Don't you say no to me under these conditions with my son's freedom be at stake. Now, I'm asking you again, and I want to hear the proper answer, okay? Can you get some elements in place so we can make contact with my dead mother?
You bet.
Good for you. Oh, one more thing. Where's your lucky tie? We're going to need that thing for sure.
Oh, I keep it in my desk drawer here.
It's not going to do any good down there?
Right.
Come on, put it on. We got work to do.
A lot of people in this place could use a cleansing. Have you seen some of the auras in these cells?
Okay, so this cleansing work that you do it to people quite often?
I don't consider it work. It's more of a public service, my way of atoning.
Atoning?
For some of the things I did when I worked for the U.S. Army.
Okay, and these things were?
Oh, it's too upsetting for me to talk about them.
Okay, well, is there anyone that you have talked about them with? You know, like a friend or a doctor, perhaps, who could come to the court and explain to us?
No. I haven't told anyone.
Well, you know, under the circumstances...
You may be right. Maybe it is time to put it all out there in the light of day. Cleanse myself in a way.
Yes, that might be very, yeah.
I was drafted right after Woodstock. I told them I wouldn't kill, but I'd use my powers to help them gather intelligence.
Okay, and they believed that you had these powers because,
I made 2 of them forget how to speak English.
Okay, well, that would definitely,
Yeah, they put me right to work. They knew that the Russians were developing a technique to stop a man's heart just with thought control, so they started a program of their own. So we practiced on these poor little goats, then staring at them in their paddings. On the first day, I was focusing on number 18, and number 19 just fell down dead. It took me a while to perfect my aim.
You killed goats with your thoughts?
Yeah, pretty soon I was out in the field offering KGB agents. They wanted me to go after Castro and Brezhnev. I mean, I was being put in a position where I could affect the geopolitical situation in the world for decades to come. I couldn't eat, I couldn't sleep. And first chance I got, I deserted and went to Vancouver. I've been working my way across the country ever since.
Okay, well, now you've arrived at a place where people can help you. People who specialize in,
mental health issues?
Yeah.
Yeah, they're good people, but that's not my problem. I mean, I can understand why you might think that, but I'm just righting my wrongs, man. I'm clearing up my karmic debt the only way I know how. Listen, I don't mean to scare you, but you're a little out of focus.
What?
Your energy, it's dissipated. No, it's, you're on some kind of journey. There's a woman, kids, and maybe some happiness. I'm not sure.
You're not sure?
Yeah, because you're not sure.
Yeah, well, that's because it's just a very... You see all this? That's amazing.
It's not me, it's the power. Look, try affirmation to help you focus on the possibilities.
Possibilities?
Of happiness, man. Yeah. Look, say this to yourself over and over. I can have a happy and fulfilling life. Yeah, that's a good one for you. I can have a happy and fulfilling life. You write that down.
Okay. I can have a happy and fulfilling life.
Okay. Boy, is he up.
What is what?
It was about 2 in the morning. I was in my driveway putting out the garbage, and I saw them walking down the other side of the street.
They were walking together?
That's what it looked like, yeah, walking and talking.
Talking normally?
Oh, I think so. But then a few seconds later, wham! She just flipped. She just started kicking and punching the guy. She knew what she was doing, too, because he was on the ground in no time.
Did she stop assaulting him at that point?
Your Honor, I think we should wait for me to determine whether or not this is an assault, Mr. K.
Of course we should. Let me rephrase that. Did she keep kicking him?
Well, she kicked him once more, but that was enough. He tried to get up. She kicked him in the head, and he fell. Well, it looked like he was unconscious, so I called the police.
And backing up a bit before Ms. Roberts began her attack.
Objection.
Sorry. Before she began kicking him, did it appear that the victim had done anything?
Your Honor!
It was that word victim, wasn't it? Sorry again. I don't know why I'm having a hard time with this stuff. Might be because it was so clearly an assault and Mr. Monroe was so clearly a victim.
Mr. K.
Yes, I know. Your Honor will be making that determination in due course. But in order to help her, can you tell us if from where you were, sir, it appeared that Mr. Monroe had at any time leading up to the incident tried to touch Ms. Roberts?
No, I never saw him touch her.
Or try to?
No.
Did you see him make any threatening gestures or do anything that could be seen as a provocation for Ms. Roberts to use her expertise to seriously injure him and render him unconscious?
No.
Are you absolutely sure?
Yes, absolutely.
Wham! Nothing further.
You said you saw Ms. Roberts and Mr. Monroe talking. Could you hear any of what they were saying?
Well, like I said, they were across the road and up the block a bit, so I couldn't make out the exact words.
Forget the exact words. Could you make out any words?
No, not really.
So you have no idea if Mr. Monroe was uttering threats to my client?
I saw 2 people talking normally. I couldn't make out the exact words.
When you called 911, do you remember saying something like, there's a crazy bitch attacking some guy on my street?
Well, she did look crazy.
But did she look like a bitch? Have you ever been hit by a woman, Mr. Stroka?
Your Honor, the witnesses said nothing to open the door to this.
I never asked if he's ever hit a woman. I asked if he's ever been hit by a woman.
Why?
Well, call me crazy, but the description he gave to the 911 operator seems to betray a certain bias against...
He was punching and kicking the guy repeatedly.
Which could look a little nuts, yeah, but why did he call her a bitch? Is that word so ingrained in our society that we can now just use it under any circumstances? This bitch lawyer is curious about that. The bitch judge maybe should consider how much weight she wants to give to this man's testimony. I was just making a point, Your Honor, when I referred... Yeah, nothing further.
Let it go. Go for what you know. We let it go slow. Love the flow. Take more. Know how to do.
He started spending all this time with his clients. He actually liked them. They became his friends, his buddies. Well, they made him feel important, dangerous. They started giving him things. One day I found a bag of cocaine in his suit. He said it was a tip from one of his clients. He said he only took it because he didn't want to offend the guy.
Knowing all of it is probably true.
Okay, so maybe he wasn't a cokehead, but he was obviously into something. He started making serious money. He started letting his drug dealer buddies visit him at the house. These assholes were playing touch football with our kids.
And that's what made you leave?
I was hoping it would make him return to his senses and he'd come get us. He didn't.
And now?
You mean, am I feeling sorry enough to bail him out? Not if it means he has to come live with us. I'll talk to the kids, but my vote is no, and my vote usually carries the day. Oh, why are you smiling?
Just thinking. You chose him over me because he was a safer bet. Look at him now.
Yeah, who would have thought?
And so you've had many regrets.
You know, I've heard you spent some time in jail yourself.
Urban legend.
Yeah, sure.
Oh.
Ronnie?
Oh, well, you seem to be afraid of most of your clients.
Well, they are criminals, so I don't see...
Well, you know what? I'm just saying that you might want to think about getting into something else, maybe into retail or something. You know?
Sure, but first I have to make this woman happy because I think she's capable of some real violence, Ronnie.
And you actually believe in this stuff, like calling up to the dead?
No. What I believe in is Mrs. Rupert's ability to hurt me very badly.
Okay. I don't think that piece of shit can be fixed.
Oh, you're not going to give up, are you?
No, I never give up.
Oh.
Well, yeah, sure. Eventually I give up, but first, I fight.
So, what do you say? Apparently we need a certain amount of warm flesh that the spirit can aim for, so you could just come along, please, Ron, please.
Well, I would love to help you, but I can't leave Eduardo alone.
Yeah, she's worried because I get too worked up sometimes, especially when I'm trying to fix a piece of shit like this copier. Right. And then, you know, what's the thing I do?
You sweat.
Yeah.
He sweats, and then his shirt clings to him, and then he has to take it off.
Man, you don't want to miss that, I understand.
No.
But how about he comes along, too? Maybe he'll sweat at the seance. You never know.
Whoa. Seance is when you are trying to call the dead people, is that correct?
Yes, but this isn't so much a calling, it's a meeting. I have a client whose mother wants us to meet her.
Yeah,
there,
no. You know, I'm not on very good terms with dead people, especially dead mothers. You know, some of my women had dead mothers who were probably a little bit pissed off with me.
I don't see anybody getting ready to leave. I don't sense cooperation here.
We were
She's got to come. She got that energy thing. I can sense it. Mama's gonna like this one.
Yeah, well, that's very nice, but I gotta stay with him.
Yeah, and I'm just afraid of dead people.
No,
It's just like...
don't any of you people disappoint me. I'm not the kind of woman who likes to be disappointed. Tell him.
She definitely doesn't like to be disappointed. I don't
That we have to leave, and we have to leave right now. Mama like to be in that place at a certain time every day, so we can't be late. If we're late, someone has to suffer.
She means me. When she says someone has to suffer, that's me. So if you guys could please come along. No, it could get crazy. Yes? Oh, thank you. Thank you so much.
Let's go. It might be fun.
No, it'll be anything but fun.
My mom goes to psychics.
I don't want to hear another story about your mother.
I just think that on some deeply human level that he was bothered by watching Menon rip your client apart like, like an angry Rottweiler ripping into a terrified rodent. You know?
Really? Because it didn't seem that bad.
Well, some people are just more sensitive than other
I'm
people.
sensitive.
No, I'm not saying that you're not. I'm just saying that on a vibration.
I'm sensitive. Okay, you need to think of yourself as the gatekeeper, protecting all the innocent, law-abiding citizens out there from the criminals in here.
Got it, but that doesn't change the fact that he didn't have any direct contact with you prior to today.
Maybe he's got something against Crown attorneys in general.
Why?
I don't know. That's what we need to find out.
But I'm kind of busy.
If he's willing to launch an attack like that in open court, imagine what he'd do in a dark alley.
Why would you be in a dark alley?
I'm not talking about myself here, Marcus.
Okay, but you were before, right?
The point is he's a dangerous lunatic.
Well, I think that he thinks he's just serving society, that's all.
By assaulting me?
But he wasn't actually assaulting you. He was trying to...
I don't even want to hear your opinion on this. You've been spending way too much time in that courtroom, Elliot. You've become an enabler for unprofessional.
An enabler? Wow, that's...
An enabler is someone who excuses their behavior no matter what. You're just totally unprofessional.
I can have a happy and fulfilling life.
What did you just say?
I said I can have a happy and fulfilling life.
That's what I thought you said. I don't... Oh, yeah. No. Sure you can. Think of yourself as the gatekeeper, and he's an accomplice.
What, an accomplice?
To all the criminals I'm keeping outside the gate, I guess.
I can have a happy and fulfilling life.
Met her at a club downtown a few hours before. She was pretty friendly to me there. So when we got off at the same streetcar stop and it looked like we were going the same way, I just thought I'd walk with her, to keep her company.
So you...
I went over and I asked her if that would be okay.
And what'd she say?
Oh, she didn't say anything. She just looked at me. I figured she didn't recognize me, from the club. So I reminded her I was doing all this, reminding her stuff while we were walking, right?
Reminding her where you'd met, reassuring her, in other words.
Yeah.
And what was she doing?
Listening, I guess. Yeah, and then all of a sudden she turns to me and tells me to back off.
Back off? Had you suddenly gotten closer to her?
No, so I didn't know what the problem was, right?
So what'd you do?
Well, I asked her, and then she just lost it. She started yelling all this stuff like, leave me the f*** alone, and then she started calling me all these names, and then she hit me.
Hit you hard?
She rang my bell, man. I didn't even see it coming.
And did you fight back?
The first shot pretty much took me right out of it. But then she kept going at it. She basically kicked my ass. Like, usually I'd be embarrassed having that done to me by a girl, but this wasn't an ordinary girl. And pretty soon I'm laying on the ground and felt like my head had been split open, and then everything just went black.
I understand you were hospitalized as a result of this incident.
I was in there for over 2 weeks. I had a concussion. She broke 3 of my ribs and my nose. I had to get 9 stitches on my lips.
And all this because...
I was trying to be friendly.
Friendly?
Do you remember her asking you to leave her alone?
That's not what she said. She might have said she's okay.
Sorry?
I mean, when I asked her if she needed someone to walk with her, I think she said that's okay.
As in, no, that's okay.
But I thought she was just being shy.
So you just kept walking along with her?
Like I said, I was just trying to keep her company.
Even though she repeatedly stated your company was unwelcome.
Look, I didn't do anything wrong, okay? I mean, in the bar, I thought she kind of liked me. And yeah, she's cute, all right? So I thought maybe I'd talk to her and get her number or something.
It's 2 in the morning on a darkened street, but you just kept on walking with her, talking to her, trying to be friendly, and you didn't notice how nervous that made her. No, you didn't hear it when she repeatedly asked you to leave her alone.
Too close, that's what she said, too close.
What did you think that meant?
I don't know, I was just talking to her. I don't know what the f*** it meant that I was too close.
And is that what you said to her? What the f*** are you talking about, bitch?
Mr. A.
I was just trying to talk to her.
You got angry. You got upset because she didn't want the pleasure of your company.
I felt like she was accusing me of wanting to do something bad. I wasn't going to hurt her.
Well, apparently you weren't going to leave her alone either.
So that makes me a rapist? The white girl thinks that the black man just wants to violate her?
This isn't about the color of your skin, asshole.
Sit down, Miss Roberts.
Hey, look, this isn't right. Okay, she's the one that put me in the hospital. I didn't hit her. I didn't even touch her.
This isn't just about what you did, sir. It's about what she thought you were going to do.
The RCMP set it up. It was a pretty big operation.
How does a lightweight lawyer like Oliver Kane become the focus of something like that?
He was making large cash deposits into his accounts and flipping them into house purchases. Any transaction over $10,000, the bank has to report. He just drew attention to himself. You want to launder money properly, you set up a shell corporation, you create bogus investors, you build a legit paper trail, but then you know all that, don't you?
I've heard this how you do it, yeah, so what are you offering?
Is he willing to trade up?
You want him to testify against his buddies? No, he doesn't have the balls.
Does he have the balls to do some time? Speaking of which, the Mounties put a lot of effort into this thing, and if I don't push for his cooperation, Her Majesty the Queen is going to want mine on a plate.
Come on, it's almost time.
In addition to this morning's assault, Mr. Hillard was out on his own recognizance on a number of charges for repeatedly being places he was told never to return to. The Ontario Legislature, the Canada Trust Bank Tower, St. Michael's Cathedral, and the Hospital for Sick Children. He's also facing an assault charge stemming from an incident in which security guards tried to remove him from that hospital's cancer ward.
Do we know what he was doing at these places?
Yes, we do, Your Honor. He was attempting to heal society by way of atonement.
Atonement for what?
Some of the damage I caused in the past, Judge.
Can you be more specific?
It's too hard for me to go there.
Okay, he killed a goat, Your Honor. It's okay. And possibly 4 or 5 KGB agents.
Yes, but I'm mostly bothered by the goat.
I was very bothered by the goat.
And how does the Ontario Legislature fit into your plan to atone for that?
You see, if I can get rid of all the negative energy that's accumulated in that place over the past couple of centuries, it's possible that something good might finally come out of there. I mean, there's nothing mentally ill about that, is there?
I don't know. Doctor?
As far as I can tell, he has no history of mental illness. There's no record of treatments or hospitalization.
Okay, but to be honest, I was treated and released under several different names.
And why is that, sir?
Well, he was a spy, so that was probably
a spy. I was an assassin.
He was an assassin.
Of goats.
Don't worry, it'll happen just as soon as you move out of your parents' house. He needs to have sex really badly.
No, I don't.
It's okay, it's okay. He's here to help.
But I...
And this stuff about you being,
What, a puppet of the American war machine? I'm sorry to say, it's all true, Judge.
Working as a spy for the military is actually a fairly common delusion. It allows the individual to insert himself into historical context he would otherwise not be a part of. And this deep-seated belief that he must cure the world of all its ills as means of atonement could be associated with issues of abandonment from childhood.
Oh, wow, talk about idle speculation. Sometimes he just can't stand to sit there without speaking. Isn't that right? Listen, man, I was definitely in that army, and it messed me up big time. So now I have to use the powers they helped me to develop to fix this place. I mean, look around. We're in a mess.
We have to at least give him the chance to explain his reasons for why he did what he did, Your Honor. Because what if he truly was, you know, sensing the judicial system's malignancies when he was squeezing Miss Menon's head like that? Because you know what I think? I think that if psychics truly have these kind of abilities, you know what it must be for them? Like a kind of, like an antenna or an antennae of a kind, right? But the problem is we got millions of cell phone signals and digital signals, and they're buzzing around all the time, and they interfere with the antenna or the antennae, and they confuse it. That's just my theory, anyway.
And it's good that you're brave enough to share it with us, Mr. Sachs, but we still have to determine how best to deal with this man, because psychic or not, on a mission to heal the world or not, he is now apparently no longer able to stop himself from running into a public courthouse and attacking a Crown attorney. I'm sorry, Mr. Hillard, but we have to try to understand why you did what you did. I'm going to have to send you to the hospital for a while.
Okay. There's probably work for me to do there anyway. And remember,
I can have a happy and fulfilling life, I know.
As can you all.
Just because you smile at a guy in a club doesn't mean you know him. I mean, to me, he was still a complete stranger.
Which is why you didn't want him to walk you home.
Yeah, I was uncomfortable with him knowing where I lived. And the more I said no, the more he got in my face. And finally, I just said, just leave me alone. And he got mad, and he started saying stuff like, why? What do you think I'm gonna do to you? What's your problem. And you know, he just kept getting closer and closer, and I felt threatened, and so I protected myself.
You punched him?
Yes, and then I kicked him, and he went down.
And then what did you do?
I kicked him again.
Why?
So he wouldn't get up.
These kicks and punches, they're the kind used in
Taekwondo,
which is a martial art that you've been studying for a while.
I started 3 years ago.
Which is when your sister was sexually assaulted.
Yes, she was raped.
Which understandably upset you quite a lot.
Yeah, it broke my heart, and it made me sick to my stomach every time I thought about her pain and how scared she must have been. And it made me think of all those stories of all the women who have been beaten and raped and killed, and any one of them could have been me. And so I had to make a choice, right? I was either going to hide out in some hole somewhere, or I was going to do something to make sure that no lowlife could ever do that to me.
When you saw Mr. Monroe in the club, did you feel threatened by him?
No, it was a public place, and we had barely exchanged words.
But when he approached you on the street, all of a sudden he was a predator?
Potentially. All women feel vulnerable to attack when they're alone at night on the street.
Okay, and have you ever had any men approach you late at night before?
Yes.
And did you put any of them in the hospital?
No.
Why not? Were they all white?
Oh, come on.
Goes to motive, Your Honor.
You heard what I said. It had nothing to do with the color of his skin.
Not even a little. You have quite a high level of proficiency in Taekwondo, don't you?
I have a black belt.
So you must have been aware of the damage you were about to inflict upon Mr. Monroe before you sprang into action.
As far as I knew, he had a black belt, too.
Oh, so is that why you didn't warn him?
I'm sorry?
Well, maybe if you'd told him what you were capable of, he would have just gone away. Or maybe you didn't want him to go away. Maybe you were having one of those moments when you were thinking about your sister.
Your Honor, this had nothing to do with what happened to her sister.
Then why'd you introduce it?
He's right. You brought it up.
Yes, but not to show that she had some sort of revenge plot, to show why she felt vulnerable.
Yes, well, he has his point of view, as do you.
No, I was not looking for revenge. He was getting too close.
Too close? What's that about, anyway? I mean, I'm standing pretty close to you right now. You're gonna break some of my ribs?
Okay, Your Honor.
There is a certain perimeter around your body where people are not allowed to be unless they are invited, and he went there.
He went there, but that's all he did.
It was enough.
No, it wasn't. For it to be enough, he would have had to actually try to touch you, cause you physical harm, or at the very least say something threatening to you. Come on, did you put him in the hospital because he moved inside your privacy zone, or was it because he looked like a thug? He looked like a rapist.
It wasn't because he was black, okay?
I use the words thug and rapist, ma'am. You're the one who attached the term black to them.
Could have been a lot worse than a conditional sentence.
Yeah, because of the
disproportionate response, yeah.
And that thing about her getting counseling, that's just a suggestion.
No, that's a condition.
To help me with my unhealthy suspicions about men. Yeah, I think I'll hold on to those if that's okay.
He was black, the guy who assaulted me. I thought you were probably wondering.
Mama, are you here? Mama, in your favorite place. Come talk to us and tell us what we need to know.
Excuse me, I was wondering...
Didn't I instruct you to be silent? Did I not tell all of them to make no sound at all?
She did, yes.
Okay,
if you could just
but
let us finish, we'll be on our way, and then
Well,
we'll
finish what? What are you doing here?
Well, our son has been accused of...
Mama, can you hear me? Here in your favorite store.
Ma'am.
We are going nowhere till my mama comes. Nowhere? Nowhere. Mama, can you hear me? Mama, are you here?
Oh, yes. I'm here, my darling.
Holy shit.
I'm right here inside this lovely woman.
Mother of God. Okay, I'm a little bit scared now.
Ronnie?
Leave her alone. She's possessed.
Mama, what do you see?
I see a man. He comes late at night to rob the store. He knows how to get in the basement window. He knows where is the light. He knows where is the stairs. He knows where is the money.
He knows a lot.
Mama, tell me, who is this man? Tell me it is not my little son, Sean, is it?
You bet your ass he's your Sean. He a thief, and he need to go to jail for a long, long time.
No, Mama.
Oh, yes, he need to be in jail until he learn his lesson. And you need to be nicer to this young man who is your lawyer. Now, don't bother me no more and let these people get on with their shopping.
But, Mama...
Be quiet!
Little one thing, you can't say anything about what my mama said about my son.
Oh, I won't.
Or else it'd be big trouble for you. You know what I mean?
I do. I do know what you mean. Although Mama did ask you to be nicer to me, so...
Yes.
We're just...
This was a message, Jack. It's just their way to remind me of what to say.
And suppose they plan to remind you on a regular basis. Take the deal.
No way.
Do we have a plan yet, Mr. Angel?
We're working on it, Your Worship.
Can you just let me out on bail, please? Just a chance to figure things out.
Oh, we're headed to South America?
Look, just rip up my passport, okay? Well, if that makes you feel better, please.
Oh, come on, Jack. You're not going to let him beg, are you?
I thought you liked that.
You know what? I think I should just kill myself. It's really my only choice here, isn't it?
Or you could take responsibility for your actions.
Oh, hi, Barb. Listen, if you're going to shit on me, you got to get in line.
This is Mr. Kane's wife, Your Worship.
Is she your surety, Mr. Angel?
I don't know.
Are you kidding? She's just here to gloat. She's turned her back on me like everybody else in my family.
But before I did that, you don't remember me begging you to stop all this evil nonsense?
Hey, are you still driving that Jag? Because one of the reasons I didn't stop was so we can afford to buy things like that.
Actually, I had to sell it to pay rent and buy food for our kids.
Okay, that's enough.
I send her money. She sends it back.
Because it's drug money.
Which actually hasn't been proven yet.
Thanks a lot, Barb. Hey, you just got yourself another witness.
Your Honor, can we set this down for a while until I can have a chance to...
you know what? He just wants me to cooperate with this prick. But it is not going to happen. Can you just find a way to get me out of here? Please, please, please.
A sec. You give up on him now, he's done. He'll stay in jail until his trial. And if you think he's messed up now, wait till he spends 8 months in the Don jail.
If I do this, Oliver, you have to promise me that all this drug business is in your past.
Alleged drug business.
And you take responsibility for what you did.
Yeah, she just wants me to suffer.
I want you to tell the truth and take the consequences like a man.
Good for you. Jesus, like a man? What are you, all of a sudden, Barb, a hockey coach?
Important for our sons. Right now, they think you're just a low-life criminal. So no lying, no manipulation, just take your medicine, okay?
Fine by me?
Yeah, I bet it is. And when I'm in jail lying dead at the bottom of the lake, you can move right in on her. He's desperate to get my wife in bed, Your Worship.
Allegedly. Not that you're not still a fine-looking woman. Gallagher wants 30 months pen time.
30 months? Oh, God.
Keep your shit together, you'll be okay.
What the hell does that mean? Keep my shit together. You hear how he talks? He's the real criminal here. I'm just somebody who had a little laugh.
It means if you stay out of trouble, you just might survive in there.
I'm gonna be sick.
Come on, get a grip. Let Bob take you home. I'll come over later, we'll talk, and I'll give you a few hints.
Like what?
Like how to please your cellmate. And not just sexually, but also spiritually. And even by offering him good conversation.
You're hysterical. Oh, are we gonna be okay?
Oh, sure. When you get out, we'll start over, get counseling. You know, whatever people do when their lives are in total ruin.
Depressed. I don't care.
Well, maybe you could ask her to leave.
She's your client.
Yeah, see, the thing is that... Sorry.
Could you just give me 1 second? 1 second.
The thing is that her dead mother gave her some bad news about her criminal son, and it's just a matter of time before she blames me for it, so I really shouldn't have any contact with her at all at this point.
I want my office back. I want to take my client into my office, and I want to do it right now.
Sure, but the thing about Mrs. Rupert is, I'm afraid of her.
You're more afraid of her than you are of me?
Well, yes.
Are you sure?
Mrs. Rupert? Mrs. Rupert?
Go away. I need to sit here until I feel better.
Oh, she just needs to sit.
Get rid of her.
Mrs. Rupert, my colleague here needs to...
You better listen. You are not the good luck man I thought you were. Now, if you don't go away and leave me alone, there are going to be consequences. You hear me?
You see, when she says consequences, she means... Mr. Rupert, if I'm no longer good luck for you, then maybe you should change lawyers.
What you mean?
Well, I just... This is Zona Robinson. She's my partner, and she'd be absolutely.
No,
She'd be a very good lawyer. A very good lawyer.
Oh, she got a look I like about her.
Yes, I know.
You from home, girl? I'll
nice.
take her. You will represent me and my sons in all the misunderstandings with the police from now on. No, he's
No, I don't mind. I really
deal.
don't mind.
I come by tomorrow and we work on getting my son out of jail.
Yeah, but
then we can sit and talk about that other thing with my other son coming up, and then I got a thing coming up myself.
Yeah, she's got a lot of things coming up. I think the two of you might really get along. I really, really do. Oh, watch out for the, you don't want to be in front of your...
Please.
You better. She's going to be... Mm-hmm. Goodbye. Goodbye, farewell. Be gone, you big nasty. Yes. Good, Anil. Good.
I had a few extra blankets, a couple of old coats, hats. Those will be
But I did better. I asked all my neighbors for stuff. I've got shoes, shirts, sweaters, even a sleeping bag. So I did better, right?
Yeah, you win.
Whoa, hey, you gonna pay for that?
Yeah, you're gonna pay me for single-handedly digging up your basement, huh?
Well, who asked you to do that?
The Mahatma did. Oh, wait, he didn't tell you that it's gonna be a dormitory to house all the world's barely sane?
Like him.
You're planning on letting people live in the basement?
Only in an emergency.
Hey, you know, it's gonna be lovely. A basement filled with some of the city's most depressing individuals. I'm gonna need a partition down there, or I will not be able to function.
He's planning to function?
How come he gets to be here?
She means with you.
He needs my help.
Yeah, our boy here has decided the way to fix his own soul is to help all the nutcases he knows.
All of them?
Well, the ones that just need a little focus.
Yeah, and some free clothes. I think it's all a pile of shit. Suck it up, get a job, get out there. That is what I want to tell them.
That's what he does. Tell them.
Well, it worked for you, didn't it? He's putting in 12-hour days.
Well, I find if I keep myself busy enough, I forget that I've lost the will to live.
How's your stomach?
Oh, well, he's not going to die, if that's what you think. Now, he does have a lot of gas, but who doesn't, really?
Yeah, right. It's just all this, organizing a clothing drive, starting a food bank, a shelter. It's all really pretty...
Little Hardy? Absurd?
Ambitious.
She means stupid, huh? Look at this. Look what I dug up down there, huh? Some poor wretch was eating gruel out of this in the 1800s. Poverty has been the dominant force in this neighborhood for centuries.
He's right. There's probably nothing you can do to stop it.
Yeah, no, he can't. I can. The solution, it's online.
Oh, he's planning to play the stock market on his computer. He thinks that we can support this entire community on his earnings.
What do you think?
Well, at least it'll keep him occupied and out of a dumpster.
Oh, that's all right. You know what? Humor me until I have made enough money that I have transformed this neighborhood, huh? What are you gonna say then, huh?
I'm gonna say, good for you.
I'm gonna say, shut up.
You shut up.
You shut up.
Go back down to your hole.
You live in a hole. Get out of your ass.
You know what? On the other hand, if he is successful, then instead of just wondering why so many of their children grow up to be criminals, people can take an active role in preventing it by giving them decent housing and decent food.
Oh, boy,
and,
here we go, here we go.
And that way that the children can concentrate in school, and then when they grow up, they can be earning money instead of stealing it.
Oh, please, just stop blubbering.
So you're really planning to commit to this, then? Make it...
My life's work, yes.
Well, I think that's wonderful.
You do?
So do I.
Oh, no, please, I can't. Oh.
There you go. There you go. There's a symbol for you. There's a symbol. That means the luck has changed, my friend. That means things are gonna start happening in this building right now, and I don't mean clothing drives, and I don't mean selling wrapped foods. I don't mean poisoning people while I'm down here increasing the equity of this property with my labor. My labor, my dirt. My dirt, my decision. Can you hear me?
Are you sure about this? Because, I mean, aren't the kids gonna hear us?
No, they're asleep.
Yeah, I think I can hear them here. I know. I want to do that. I want to relax. But you know what? I look at you, and you're just like this incredibly solid person, despite everything. And I just feel like I'm this wobbly mess. I still don't know really sure of who I am,
You really don't need to talk right now.
I know. I don't usually talk this much. Well, sometimes I do, but
You're
that's
nervous.
more. Well, no, it's not that I'm nervous.
You care about me.
Yeah, no, of course I care. No, that's what it is. I care about you. I care about you, and I'm worried that I'm not gonna be the person that you need me to be.
I'm not.